Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So tonight is Tuesday, and I always talk about something downsizing, decluttering, or lifestyle design. And tonight we're going to talk about how to throw an extreme photo decluttering party. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. So if you have boxes or old photos just sitting in your basement, or those big photo albums maybe taking up some space on your bookcases, if you do have those, and if you are maybe a baby boomer or even from the sandwich generation where you have both elderly parents and kids still living at home, chances are that you not only have your own photo collections, but perhaps you have those that you inherited from your parents and maybe even your grandparents. Bottom line is there's a lot of photos. So the sad thing is that the longer those sit in your basement or in your attic, the more likely they are to deteriorate, and the less likely you are to ever actually get through and get around to dealing with them. So wouldn't it be a shame that you have all of those beautiful photos that are just sitting there, and then at some point, after you're gone, someone just throws them all away, those precious memories, the family history, without even having gone through them, at least looked through them at some point in your life. So if you've made previous attempts to go through some of those boxes of photos, you realize that it's very time consuming, and also it's extremely emotional. So, and that's why I want to share an idea with you about how to throw an extreme photo decluttering party. It'll help you not only sift through those boxes and boxes of photos with your family and with your loved ones, while providing you an opportunity to share stories, to reminisce, and to learn more about your family history. So the idea for this novel approach to decluttering years of photos was actually inspired last Thanksgiving, when my sister asked us if after dinner we would all like to help her go through 60 plus years of photos that were left in her basement after our mom and dad passed away and after we cleaned out their house. So my siblings and and their spouses all agreed that we would be glad to help her sort through the photos and take the ones away that were the most meaningful to us. So what started out to be a practical way of decluttering the boxes and bins of photos that had been stored in my sister's basement for many, many years after we cleaned out my parents' home, it turned out to be a time for us to revisit special memories, to share stories, some of which we had never heard before. And during this time, we laughed, we cried, we connected in a way that we hadn't connected before. And we did also manage to get through most of the boxes, and we've promised her to have another extreme decluttering party again this year. So with the holiday season just around the corner, if you've been wanting to deal with all of those boxes of photos in your basement, maybe you can ask your family if they will help you participate in that kind of fun family event like this one. So here's how the extreme decluttering photo party works. So before you start, ask your family if they want to participate. If they don't, then obviously you're not going to make them do that. And at the beginning of the party, which in our case it was after Thanksgiving dinner, explain how the process works and kind of what the rules are, and explain that the goal is to have everyone make decisions about photos that they want and the ones that they want to keep, share, or dispose of. And then at the end of the party, take the ones that you want and take those home with you so you can actually declutter them. So let them know that likely, this will be important, to let them know that likely the photos will be emotional and it'll stir up memories, so they could be good, bad, or sad, and that you're all there to support each other during this time. So that's before you get started. Then when you get started, open one box at a time and pass a few piles of pictures around the table. And if you take your pile, you go through it, and after you've gone through it, decide which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to toss, and maybe which ones you might want to share with some of your siblings or your children or others. So in other words, you're creating your own pile. And then circulate the remains of your pile to the next person, and then take the next pile from the box. So slowly but surely the boxes get emptied because everyone has their piles and they're circulating them around the table. So as you're sorting through the piles, share stories, memories that come to mind. So some of the fun stories and fun pictures of, when you're in high school, when you got married, when the babies were first born. And if you don't recognize people in the photos, ask your siblings to help you identify them. Being an older sister, I was able to identify, a number of things my sisters weren't, and then vice versa. After I'd gone off to college and everything, they were able to identify people that I wasn't able to identify. So that they might recognize aunts and uncles, cousins that you haven't seen in years. And that makes it kind of fun to connect all the dots. And at the end of the extreme decluttering party, take your photos with you. And when you get home, and organize them in a way that works for you so that you can enjoy them and share them with your kids, your grandkids, and that it becomes part of your story and part of your history. So there are certain ways that I like to organize, and this is what I've done, and it really did help. So I'm going to share that with you, how to organize and manage your photos that are now edited. So now you don't have boxes and boxes, you simply have a pile. So number one, sort those piles into categories that work for you. So maybe by family, by friends, by decade, by events, like, the birth of your children, graduation, weddings, by trips or by other events that were memorable to you. And then I like to store mine in a box, some of them, keep them, and they'd be kept close so that I could then take out that one photo box and share them with people as we're talking about things. So at least they're close by. I like to label them. So in other words, what time frame was this? Who are the family people? So that after you're gone, your kids will know, what those were all about. And then, of course, frame the ones that you want to display, ones that you want to enjoy day to day. And then the other thing to do is to scan, digitize, and store them on a drive in folders so that you can share them with your family and your friends. And you can scan and put your favorites into a Shutterfly, into PhotoBook, or Mixbook. All of those are available on Amazon. And I will tell you that I purchased a scanner. I'll share the link with you if you're interested, but it was an Epson. It's like a higher end scanner, and it was perfect for scanning all these photos because of the good quality. So if you're not very tech savvy, which many people aren't, there are services locally that you can use, or one that I'd like to recommend is called legacybox.com, where they'll take your box of photos and digitize them for you. Now, this is a little bit of a bonus, and it might sound like an afterthought, but it's really not. But as you are going through those printed photos, I've got a list of what not to keep. So in other words, that's going to help you some, I hope. So one is duplicates, or those that look so similar. So I know when our mom used to take pictures, which were many, she and of course now that we have digital photos, we might take 10 pictures and then we delete 9. Anyways, such was the case with our mom because she took many from just different angles. So either duplicates or those that are very, very similar. You don't need to keep all of that. Those that are blurry, overexposed, underexposed, or just poorly composed. And then those that are unflattering. Nobody wants to have those photos hanging around. And then photos of exes or old boyfriends, people that bring back bad or sad memories. And then people, places that you don't even recognize. So it's amazing how many photos we've kept in those boxes, and there's no sense in taking up space. So if you're looking for a fun way to declutter all those photos that have been sitting around in boxes, why don't you try throwing your own extreme decluttering party, maybe this holiday season. I hope that helps. I'll talk to you next